And you're now listening to TLKInfamous. Hey guys, we are back with TLKInfamous. My name is Socially. We got Say here, and we got the official Tika.
Hi everybody, how you doing?
How you feeling today?
I feel amazing. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited.
All right, we gotta get into this fit. So we gotta go into like the drip track. Like, what you got on? Show us, let us know.
Okay, so I am definitely a bargain hunter. I love the look.
Yeah.
But you know, these brands is not gonna get my coin like that. So
I feel that.
This vars is from, I got it from Shein. I got these pants from ASO.
Oh.
And these are the off-white 4s.
Okay.
And I got my jewelry from Ice London. It was a gift from my boyfriend. And that's pretty much it. And this is just
shades?
a calm cami. Oh, Shein.
Nice.
She ain't got everything.
They do.
They do. It's like, don't sleep on them.
But don't get addicted either.
That's
Right,
right. They will
right.
take all your money. They will definitely take all your money.
And that's also about like fast fashion, but that's a whole different another conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, it's your first time being introduced to the world. So like, let us know like some of your background. Like, tell us about yourself. Like, let us get into you.
As far as like just
What's your background? Where you from?
Yeah.
okay, well, I'm West Indian. I was
Right.
born on the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but my family moved here when I was about 1.5. So when we moved to America, we lived in Brooklyn. So I pretty much grew up in Brooklyn, like raised there since, up until like high school. Then when high school came around, I moved to Queens, and then I went to Thomas Edison. So I feel like I'm like 50-50 with like Queens and Brooklyn. So, but yeah, that's kind of like my origins right there. I'm loving Queens. Like, it's a whole different vibe from BK, but every time I do visit Brooklyn, it's like, it's nothing like it. I feel like I'm always taken back to like when I first came here and just growing up. So definitely Brooklyn is very much nostalgic for me, always.
True, I agree. Brooklyn just has this like authentic vibe to it.
It does.
It
And
definitely does. It's just like, it's home. It feels home. Like,
I think also because, a lot of Caribbeans they come to Brooklyn. So that's why
Yeah.
probably why it feels
Flatbush
like
Ave,
home.
Church Ave, all
Yeah.
of them.
Right.
exactly.
But you still got a piece of home to walk away with.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So Tika, I know that's your stage name, but what does it mean?
That's a dope
Tika?
name.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what Tika means exactly, but my full name is Otika, and that means precious. My mom,
okay.
she got it from one of her friends who I think they were in the army or so overseas. And, when she was looking for a name for me, she's like, I don't know what to name her. And then she was like, how about Otika? And she's like, okay, like, what is that? I like it, but like, what is it? And she's like, it just means precious. So then my mom kind of just stuck with that. So, but Tika, though, I've heard is popular in Japan. I had a customer that I worked with. I was working at a retail store, and then he told me that. He was like a Japanese. He was like, oh, wow. Because I guess it was odd for him to see it on that
name is
name on a
very
black
unique.
girl.
Yeah.
So he's just like, where are you from? And I'm like, I told him. And he was like, oh, because Tika's popular in Japan. So,
Tika sounds like a star.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
It do.
It's very unique, and it actually fits you. Like, you embody Tika.
thank you. I feel like it was only fitting to make that my stage name because that's like what everyone's called me my entire life. It's like, yes, sometimes I feel like the O in front of my name is just silent sometimes because everybody just calls me Tika.
Tika, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was right too. I feel like a lot of people be trying to run around trying to figure out a stage name, but I feel like that was perfect for you.
Right.
I know, and I felt like, I lucked out because it was pretty much easy. It's like I just chopped off the first letter of my name, and then there we go.
Yeah.
Stage name.
Now I have to ask you, so what is your sign? Are you a sign person?
I feel like I'm a sign person,
Yeah.
but not like as deep as I feel like a lot of sign people go into.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Capricorn,
Yeah.
and some of the quotes that I see about Capricorns, like, they do oddly relate to me.
So what are those things that you think are true about a Capricorn?
Well, Capricorns, they're about their money.
I like that.
That's a fact. I feel like when it comes to money, we're going to get to it. Or
That is true. I know a Capricorn, yeah.
you're going to
It's like
get
that.
to it, whether that be like you having 6 jobs or that just be you trying to like, find a way to not work smarter and then not work as hard, But
Yeah.
another thing I think relates well to me is just how like when we're like fully done with something, we're fully done with it. Like sometimes I feel like for me, at least speaking for myself, I can say, oh, I'm not doing this no more, and I find myself doing it again, but then it gets to a point where like if I say I'm really like I'm never doing this again, and I just don't do it again.
Right.
Like so I feel like we have to get to a point where we're just absolutely fed up with something and it just won't ever occur again. We won't even deal with that person or whoever,
Right.
so on and so forth.
Nice.
That's interesting. Would you say that about like your music? Because I know like artists, they're very critical where let's say they make a song and they be like, all right, I'm done. I'm not gonna release a song. This is gonna stay in my writing notebook and I'm not gonna release it. Can you really say that you wouldn't release it, or like you could really close a chapter on a song that you're never gonna release?
It's funny that you say that because I actually have songs that I created with the intention to release, and then now I'm feeling like I don't. But sometimes like when I hear it and I listen to it, I feel like I do. So for where that's concerned, I feel like it just has to be something that bugs me enough for me to revisit it.
Like a gut feeling.
Literally, like I have to. It has to keep creeping into my mind every now and again. That I'm like, all right, yeah, this is the move. This is what we got to do.
Yeah.
Other than that, like if I don't think about it again, then yeah, I know that it's fine to stay where it's at.
Do you have any projects that you know for sure that you're not gonna drop? Or that you thought about it and you was like, you know what, I'm tabling it?
Yeah, I had a song that I wanted to. It was almost like a cover to Rod Wave's "Gone Till November."
Oh, I love that song.
I love that song too, and I was gonna do "Gone Till December" since my birthday's in December.
I like
but,
that.
But like for me, the reason why I'm tabling it because it was. Actually, I don't know because it was.
Yeah, because I want to ask you. So, like, I know as an artist, like, how do you make those decisions? I feel like a lot of times, sometimes as artists, we do kind of get in our way. But like for you, like, how do you find out that method? Like, is this something I release, or is this something I pull back on, or do you feel like sometimes, as an artist, that we can't get in the way of, making those decisions out of, whatever the case may be?
For me, I just go a lot off of how I feel, and for that particular song, one, not only isn't it like not fully finished, but it was talking about like depression and just not fully overcoming it, but keep finding yourself in that depressive state that you almost don't know what to do with yourself. And that is like I feel like we all kind of go through something like that, which would be relatable, but for some reason for me it just doesn't feel like right. Like I probably have to revisit it and probably look it over and change a few things, but other than that, it's like the way it is now, it's just too like somber for me.
Do you feel like because you move past from that stage, so that's why it's like hard for you to like resonate? Is that like the case?
Maybe, yeah, because I feel like a lot of songs that I create and I kind of throw my whole self in it. It's like it's based on how I was feeling in the moment. And I feel like depression is something I would love to touch on because I've struggled with it and I continue to struggle with it, but there's moments where like I feel as though I overcome it. And so I feel like it would help somebody. So that's why I'm learning right now to like tap into different emotions, even though I'm not currently feeling that.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's tough. I'm so sorry because I just want to say like just in general, having to like revisit certain memories or emotions that can be traumatizing as well.
Yeah.
So like going back and forth between an upbeat song and a somber song, I can see how difficult that can be. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, because I always kind of, when artists, you typically they end the stage of, creating an album within mostly like 2 years.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see how difficult that is to like create a body of work that fully embodies, what you're feeling, but also you got to keep up with the time and also be true to yourself. I know you say, you battle with, depression and stuff like that. So like, can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, how that affected, maybe your artistry and like where you're at with that now?
It was really bad. Like, I feel like I had the worst case of just writer's block ever. And I just didn't really want to write at all. And everybody kept telling me, oh, just put exactly what you're feeling into music, write something. And I just couldn't. Like, I just felt like I was saying things that just didn't even make sense, things that just didn't even feel right. Like, I was just putting words down for the sake of putting words down. So I feel like as an artist, like that was extremely like a difficult point for me.
Right.
And I never once though decided like I wanted to quit or stop. it was just, I knew like I wasn't in the right headspace. So I did everything I could to kind of get there, meditate, just go for walks, watch Netflix. Sometimes like I get creative spurts from just things I see.
Yeah.
And I just translate that into like feelings and then words and then a song.
That's beautiful. Like, how would you summarize your relationship with music in general?
I would say like we are becoming really cool partners in crime because I never really saw myself going into music, to be honest with you. Like the way like I kind of grew up, my parents instilled this kind of like go to school, get a good degree, get a job, and that's how you're gonna be wealthy. And I just kind of followed that like almost like the Bible. And then I got to a point where I was in a job that was really good and I didn't feel that happiness that I was supposed to get. So it just made me feel like I don't know, like I gotta try something else. So then why not try? So that's literally how I got into music, just saying, what's the worst that could happen? Like,
Right.
like no one knows who I am anyway. So if, you know, things don't go as planned, it's like, it's okay because I feel like we owe ourselves that in this life to at least try the things that we want to do or think about or know that we're good at.
I agree.
Yeah.
When did you start singing? Right.
I realized I could sing at like 9. Like I used to do a lot of Destiny's Child covers.
You used to be in the mirror singing.
I would just kind of be playing with like I had a lot of dolls and I would just be playing with them, singing. And then I was like, it's so funny because I can remember the day when I realized, I was like, ooh, that don't sound too bad. Like I was singing, I think Emotions, like till this day, I really love that song.
At 9 years old?
Yes.
Wow.
It was really Beyonce for me. I was just like, wow. Like I just thought, I guess she was like a magician, the way like she just did her riffs and runs. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I guess I would kind of like try to copy that, and maybe all the copying that I did kind of like formed my voice in a way. And then I remember I was just singing, I was playing, and I did like a and I was like, ooh, I was like, nah, that's knowing how to sing. But literally that's how it started. But I didn't do nothing with it though. I just kind of like would always hum to myself.
Yeah.
And I would sing to my sisters, my family. And I never really showed my friends yet, I think. But then that came later on. Yeah. So it was like bit by bit. So it was always something like I just kept close to me. But my mom really wanted me to showcase it because she believes like, you know, God gives us talents, and if we don't use them, He takes it away. So with her saying that, I was kind of scared because I was like, oh, I like the little voice that I have. Like, I don't want it to be taken away. So I'm glad I actually decided to do something with it because, I don't know, even if I still would have did anything, if I didn't have that realization of I should just try it.
You wouldn't be here today, right?
Basically.
And releasing music.
Exactly.
So when did you start performing? Because I know you started singing at 9 years old. When did you really, like, start showcasing yourself to the public?
Yeah, because when you're in the room by yourself, 9, you hear a little something. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I could sing too. So when you start going out, like what, like when you got that, you know, the reception from, you know, the crowd, from people you love and stuff like that, and they let you know, like, good.
I would say my school choir in high school. And the reason why I was comfortable with that because I was with a bunch of people that could sing.
Right.
So I felt like even if I fell flat or any things happen, which my choir instructor, she didn't play about that. She's like, there's no falling flat, there's none of that. But it was just helpful to know that there was other people there and I really wasn't just watching me.
I know, right?
So I feel like my parents actually came to one of the talent shows. And I wasn't even sure if they were coming because I feel like they always be saying something and then it'll be a whole other story. But they actually came and they was in the crowd and I didn't know. And then my mom, she's the one that told me. She was like, oh, we had got there late and then everywhere was just so packed and we were just like, oh, we don't even know if you went on or whatever, this whole story. And she was like, she was about to turn and go to either tell my dad something or do something. And then she was like, I heard someone come on and sing, which we were singing End of the Road. And I think I was one of the leads in that. And then she was like, how she broke her neck and she looked to see who was singing. And then she saw it was me. And then she was like, what?
My daughter can sing.
Yeah, because she said, oh, I always knew you could sing. But she was
Right.
like, I didn't know that you could sing like that.
Right.
And to me, I was like that. Like, I don't know, because it's hard for me to remember. Because sometimes when I'm in the moment, I don't really, like, I'm not fully there.
That's when the creative energy is fully flowing through.
Yes, because I feel like it helps also with my anxiety with like being seen and people just like watching me.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the times too when I don't do as best as I can is because I'm like so tunneled in on, like, I'm present and I could see everybody watching me. I could see the lights, I could see everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, and I start messing up. But I think that day I just wasn't there and I just fully like sung the song. And then she was like, that was the moment for her. And my dad, when she went to call him and he came in and they all felt like, oh wow, like that's when she was pushing me more to like sing in the church. And she's like wanting me to put my voice everywhere because she's like, wow, like you actually do have a great gift and you should utilize it.
It's kind of crazy that you brought that up because, you know, I was watching this documentary about singers and it was kind of talking about, you know, how like a lot of these singers nowadays, they don't have the vocal range that, you know, back then, like Whitney or, you know, I'm trying to think. Give me some names. Beyonce, K. Michelle, Celine Dion.
Yeah.
And they talked about their 10,000 hours and how essential that is. Like they talked about how, you know, these artists back in the day, they were going to choir. Choir was a big thing, a part of, you know, a lot of public schools. Like the creative arts were big things, a part of the public schools. Whether you didn't have to go to a creative arts school to be, you know, to have a choir class. A lot of times, you know, especially within the Black community, Black churches were still important. So, you know, you was going to church, you was singing in the choir and stuff like that. And nowadays, you know, in most recent, you know, generation years that we've lost those things. So how crucial do you think those are for an artist to, like, you know, develop their craft?
I think that's super crucial.
Yeah.
Because I honestly wished I had, like when I realized I could sing, I honestly wish that I actually was in choir or I did, whether it be the church or a program or something to strengthen my voice, because like everything that I do with my voice is just purely off of, not even like, for years I didn't really sing like that.
Yeah.
So it's just me like raw doing it. And now that I'm actually singing and I'm like releasing music and stuff like that, I wish that I had someone or like a coach or something.
You wish you had more, because you had some experience with the choir, right? But you're just saying you wish you had more?
Yeah, because that was just in school. That was just in high school, you know, and that was just something like as, like if you did soccer or like, you know, an extracurricular activity.
Right.
But I'm saying like for kids, like if they have the voice, starting them out really young in those environments, I feel like would make them like, I don't even know, by the time they're like in high school and, you know, in their like early 20s.
Their tonsils and all that is still getting developed. So being able to hold on to that when you're young really builds those muscles.
No shit, I'm not gonna lie. I did have a little voice growing up. I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, I hit puberty. And I mean, I knew for myself. I had that moment, but my cousin told me, like, you have a little something. And I did take a little choir. And I remember being in class, especially in Catholic school, you know, my principal, she was mean as hell. But she heard me singing and she stopped. She like, oh, like, she was like surprised. And but I just remember that. But like I said, I always thought about, you know, creating music and this, once again, that lane, just for the fun of it. I feel like everyone should create an album. Why not, you know?
No, I agree, yeah. I feel like it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. Just like creative expression.
Exactly.
And but going back to what you said, like, you know, like you said, a lot of people have this talent within them. It just takes somebody who's like a mentor or a family member. They have to nourish them and realize, okay, what can we do to hone this talent and build that momentum? So you could be on that level of a Michael Jackson or a Beyonce.
Exactly. I wish I had that. Like, I know it's not too late. Everybody, they'll tell me like, "Oh, girl, it is not too late." Like you saying that, like if you 50 something, and I'm like,
right, because there's other artists like Nicki Minaj, Cardi B that been in the industry. Well, Cardi B's kind of a little new, but Nicki Minaj's been in the industry for what, 10 years, actually 20, I want to say. Pretty much gas on her head, maybe 15. And she got a vocal coach probably I think halfway through her career, like 6 years in. So honestly, it really doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you still gonna get that progress from that vocal trainer. I do want to mention, right, because I know there's a lot of people that practice at home. There's so many masterclasses and YouTube videos where people can really develop their skills.
Right.
Do you feel like an artist can really develop their own skills by themselves solely, or do you feel like having that experience, of course, having that experience of a church, choir, a vocal coach can strengthen it, but do you feel like you need it, or can you really develop your skills and do your own thing by yourself?
Honestly, I believe you can, because that's literally what I'm doing right now. I just watch videos on YouTube. I sing certain songs, like I sing challenging songs. Like I'll push myself to do that. For me, my hardest thing is range, because I feel like I almost stunted my voice a little bit, because for years I would just kind of sing at a level like this or whatever. And that's fine, but I know that I have the power to go broader and like push my voice out.
Right.
So that's what I'm working on. But I do believe like you can. It just takes a lot more effort and willingness, because remember, you're by yourself. So you got to make sure that you are doing
yourself
that.
Accountable.
Exactly. Doing the same riffs and runs up and down and like again and going higher and lower. And so it's like you got to do that. But it's definitely possible.
Yeah, I think it's possible. And I also would say, like, for any creative, it's also like you have to be mindful of, like, for you, like you said, it's a range thing. So maybe, okay, I can learn all this stuff on YouTube, but don't be afraid to go out and, you know, pay for a quick class. If you know, okay, let me just have somebody mentor me in my range, or one segment, just so, like, you know, I feel like a lot of times within this day and age, because of social media, we forget that there are people who know better and who are teachers who will study this, and they want to give us the resources to help us become better artists. And I feel like a lot of artists nowadays, they try to like, oh, they have this type of ego where I can do this on my own. And it's a balance. I feel like there's a balance, but I just feel like sometimes we just got to go back to the, you know, the roots of things, just so, you know.
Yeah. No,
get a lot better.
I agree. I feel like I feel like every artist, even myself, sometimes I feel like, oh, I could do this on my own.
Yeah.
But we do have to check our egos at the door sometimes and realize that it's not about, oh, someone else, you know, being able to say that, oh, they helped, aided in me becoming whoever I am today. It's more of you're doing it for yourself. You're almost like you're training. So it's just like, imagine if you are a bodybuilder or a swimmer, like any kind of sport or any type of activity that requires extensive training. This is just part of that. You can swim as a swimmer. You could swim to one end of the pool to the other and all day, every day, you know, and do it yourself. But then to have a person there that's gonna be like, okay, keep your this up or do that, like it helps. So I feel like that mentality definitely should kind of like, you know, die off, because it's only gonna make you get better if you realize that you can outsource help. For me, that's something I'm still learning too, because I'm very new. So it's like I'm just kind of like taking everything a day at a time, but realizing that these are going to be necessities for me to get better.
Right.
I feel like you found balance, because I know that you worked on some great projects with fellow artists, Just Say Eli. How was that collaboration experience? And during that experience, were there anything that you learned from that you can carry on to your next projects?
Eli has taught me a lot, actually. And it's funny because he was kind of the battery in my back to help me create like my very first song. And it was just so funny because I felt like when I decided, all right, I'm going to try singing, I'm going to try to record something, I'm going to just give it a shot, I couldn't write nothing to save my life. And then he just kind of made it seem so simple, like, you know, you just kind of say how you feel, you just don't think too much, just let your emotions flow and then turn that into words. And when we collabed on one of my songs, Miss Me, and then he has a song that's dropping soon, and it is so good. I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Spicy.
Yeah, so when we collabed on those two songs, I just found like, you know, he's showing me different techniques in the studio. He's helping me like, you know, hone in on certain things. And it's like, for us, it's just chemistry, because his song that he's going to be releasing, it was supposed to be just a song that he wrote for himself.
Right.
And he wanted me to listen to it and like give him my thoughts. And then I came in and I just started doing these vocals in the back. And then he's like, I like that. So we're going to keep that. And then like I just came up with this whole like verse that kind of, so like basically all that to say is like me and him, we work a lot off of chemistry.
It's so organic, right?
Literally. It's like he'll write a part and I'll be like, I like it, Picasso. All right. And then I go and I write something and then it kind of just matches up.
I love that. And for that type of like chemistry, like how important is it for like as a creative to be acknowledged and be seen by another creative and have that type of relationship?
I think I would say like 50-50 of importance. It does help.
Yeah.
It does help boost like your morale as an artist, because you're feeling that type of like praise from another artist who has tons of bodies of work. For them to like, you know, give you accolades and praise you and say like, oh wow, like you're doing really great, it does help and it does mean a lot, because it just shows that you are gifted as well, and your craft is just as important, and it doesn't make you feel any it doesn't make you feel, I guess you would say, like less than. It just makes you feel like I'm on the board, basically. Like I'm here.
Right.
I'm a player too.
And where's that other 50% at? Like you trying to say that the other 50 comes within. You gotta believe it in yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
She said a word.
Right.
Can we give her hands up for that? I'm not gonna lie. I was listening to that. I was like, you said a word. I think
Literally.
No, I think you're right. It's a balance, because you need to know within yourself, because nothing nobody can tell you is like gonna help. If you want to be all timid and shy, and that's what I have to learn within myself. Is like, I think every artist, of course, we want a team, because it makes things a lot easier. It makes the project grander, and the input is needed. But sometimes you got to find it within yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will.
Literally. And that's the hardest thing I've been learning, because I've been performing. And I would be performing, and the very first time I performed, well, not the very first time, this year at least, the very first time, and I was singing, and I felt so like, I was so nervous and shy, and it's like, you know, my song, I know that it's good, but it's like I'm not showcasing it in the best light, because I clearly am showing that I don't believe that. So it's like, if I'm going to be there singing kind of like this, it's like, hello? Like, can we hear you? Can we see you? And then once, like, I started to perform more and just started to, like, own my songs. And, you know, you got to give off the attitude, like, my song is just as good as your song, if not better. So I'm going to let you hear it, and then y'all going to tell me what you think. Either way, I still know I'm valid.
And I witnessed that since, you know, you perform at her event and then seeing you this week. I've seen you, like, even watching clips, I see you get more and more comfortable around the stage. I'm like, oh shit, like,
I know
you pick up fast.
Right?
Like, you pick up fast. So that's like
I feel
a great
like that's
thing.
so true though, because
Pat on the back.
it's not only just about the actual content, it's about confidence.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised, there's so many artists that's out now that they may not even be on the same caliber as you. They be, you know, below, you know, they're still really great performers, but I'm just saying they may not have the vocal capacity that's on your level, and somehow they're showcasing themselves to millions of people just because of their confidence only. So you're doing a great thing. I do want to ask, like, are you fully comfortable, or do you still get stage fright from time to time? Because honestly, I don't see it on your performances.
Well, thank you for that first. But yeah, I do still get a little bit of stage fright. Like, I feel like I want to share this, but I feel like I don't know if it's gonna go too
ahead.
deep.
No, it's just, we all about getting deep and we talk infamous.
Right.
So like I was born with a heart defect.
Oh wow.
So sometimes whenever I get nervous, it does affect me a little bit differently. So that's something that I do experience like right before I perform, even now.
Wow.
So I be trying to like calm myself down, like really get in that like lock in and get in that mindset. Cause I'm like, what do you, like you just singing in front of people, it's okay. Like I feel like, I don't know why I still get a little nervous. I think it's just the whole like, you know, handing me the mic and then everybody looking like, all right, like we ready for the show.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why, but to say the least, yeah, I still do, but I'm getting better. Like I start to shake it off a little faster.
Like recommendations, how do you calm your anxiety?
Yeah.
Like I just kind of repeat to myself, I'm like, we got this, you know, we know the songs, like, and then I guess sometimes like I have the venue in mind, so I'm like, oh no, like it's kind of small, I can't really move around how I want to. Like I have all these little things in my head that's just gonna make me feel like, oh, let's just stand here. But then I'd be like, no, like, so basically just like a lot of repetitive, like just helpful things to calm me down. Like, you got this, we're doing this song. All right, so we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And it's like, okay, cool, just relax. Like literally, that's what I'll be telling myself. And I'll start to like get better. And then the music comes on and it's like, boom.
The show must go on.
Literally, the show must go on.
That's important, because I feel like words are so important. Like I know we could think to ourselves, but actually saying out loud and
that helps.
Letting your subconscious hear it, it actually sometimes subconsciously affects the way you actually present yourself. So I'm trying to get better at that as well. Like literally not saying bad or negative stuff.
Yes.
You know, saying positive things.
It's so easy, because I feel like, you know, especially if you grew up in a particular environment, stuff like that, and you've been told things, it's hard. But like you said, it's all about like once you get that negative thought, you got to fill in with a positive.
Yes.
Even if you don't believe it in the moment, just got to fill in that gap.
Yep.
I agree. So I do want to get to nitty gritty. We know that you perform and you're an artist. What are 3 other things that you would love for people to know about you that maybe we don't know?
Well, I feel like I kind of touched on this a little bit, but I enjoy like binge watching series on Netflix.
What's your favorite series out? Right.
At least 3.
Okay, Breaking Bad.
Okay, that's good.
Criminal Minds. And what's another? Because I probably watched the whole, like, half of Netflix at least.
I know.
Like,
they need to upload some new shows. I'm just saying.
At this
Their
point,
content is
like,
kind of a little bit.
literally. And what's another?
Ozark? Have you watched Ozark?
I did, but
Okay.
I don't know if I'm gonna put that in my top 3. But it's really good though.
Yeah,
It is.
Really good.
They fell off toward in the last season. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah.
They did. They
Nah.
kind of. I
Y'all
thought I was
crazy.
the only one who felt like they kind of dropped the ball a little.
It was
bit.
got a little boring.
Y'all watched the full season 3?
Yes.
Part 1 and part 2?
I watched all it. I got
Oh my
bored.
God. Listen, now the comments is going to go crazy because I disagree. That was crazy.
I'm just saying, like, let's keep it a buck. Like, it was like okay. Like a lot of the episodes are like okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was getting very much okay. And what?
Wow.
Hopefully
Literally.
they're gonna pick it back up. We have.
Yeah, I
we have
mean, I
belief
feel
now.
like my.
What's
I
your
don't wanna
third?
I don't know. I was about to spoil it, but on my third, I
Yeah.
would say. You ever heard of Wentworth?
I heard about it.
That's like
Wentworth.
Orange is the New Black, but the UK version.
I heard it's better as
That
well.
is spicy. Oh my
Yes,
God.
that was like, I'm telling you, like I was fiending every time they would like say they about to drop a season. I was checking that show. Yeah, it is like
I gotta check it
Orange
out.
is the New Black, but more spicy.
But
for
better.
real.
Because Orange is the New Black was kind of comedic.
I
Because
said the same. It's lighthearted.
You're like European, like UK, they're more raw and gritty with their humor. Even like it's more like
It's more real. I
Yeah.
feel like America, they're so just theatric sometimes.
Watered
It's like,
down.
yeah, watered down.
Yeah.
And then what's the other 2 things? Tell us two other things.
Right.
I do TikTok.
Yes.
So definitely check me out there.
What do you do on TikTok?
I make cute little videos. Right now, I'm trying to transition my platform to more of music based. And TikTok, that's kind of hard because once people know you for something, and it's like that was like kind of your niche. Like I just did like cute little voiceover videos, and people just really enjoyed like my style and like how my hair was done. and
Right,
things
that
like
was all. You like on your TikTok, you really present your style, and I feel like also like you really are strong in that because every time she's on stage, she has a whole different look, and it's so different.
I appreciate that.
I've seen you about 3-4 times, and not once has she slipped.
Right.
Cause I know Kyle go check me, so he's like, all right, okay.
No, but I told her,
all right.
Leo's like, oh yeah, you gotta like she said, ask Kyle. I remember she asked me for like a suggestion. And then I was like, I seen her, and then I followed you on Instagram. I'm like, oh, so she does it. I'm like, I need some advice from you, like.
No.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I slip every now and then because it's like I like clothes and I love styling, but also I if I feel like being a bum that day, I'm gonna where I feel. But you, I haven't seen nothing like.
She said, "I'm gonna look like a bum, but I'm gonna look like a diva
right,
too."
but make it fashion.
A diva bum, but yeah, that's like. So that's kind of another touch on number 3 is personal styling or just like styling in general. Like I feel like that's really, really big for me. Like I've been like this since I was young. Like I'm talking about like 7 years old. Like I remember my family went on vacation. We went to visit my family back home. And I had like this gold ensemble. Like I wish I had the picture, but
You showing out.
I was showing out.
Listen, if you find it, let us know. We can insert it.
I will definitely go and look for it. I had this gold hat, this gold bag, gold shoes,
Oh
this
my
gold
God.
belt.
You thought you was hot? She was shining.
Like my shirt had little like gold little rhinestones in it, and I had these denim jeans, and I was like,
How old were you?
I think I was like 7.
7 years
my
old.
God.
Yes.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
we
already
need that
knew
picture.
like I remember putting that together like in my suitcase, like feeling like I was really about to kill them. Like,
You must get it from your mom.
She has tons
She
of
style?
clothes.
She got
too.
styles?
She has style too.
Yeah.
She be like, she don't know where I get it from. I'm like, you like look
Yeah.
at your closet, but I just knew like fashion was something I really enjoyed. Like every little detail is so important to me. Ever since I was younger, it was always important to me. And I feel like I guess like dolls were a big influence for me. How they would come with their little shoes, their bag, accessories, sunglasses, all that. I just always enjoyed. And I just said when I get older, I'm about to be that. Like I want to do that.
So like how do you merge those two interests, like your music and style? How have you allowed, that styling? Because I know you said that's kind of, would you consider that your gift or your passion? Which one? Because we talked about, Mac Vision and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
that was a dope episode. I was in tune because I was like, he talking. He is talking.
So music is your gift, you would say, and your passion is for styling?
I would definitely say my voice is my gift, and then my passion is definitely personal styling. And how I incorporate the two is like whenever I go out to my shows, like Leah said, always given a different type of look or a vibe.
Right.
And it just kind of like doesn't necessarily be like me trying to go in tune with the show. It's just like how I feel, like what do I want to really give tonight?
Yeah.
Like
It sets the tone. It literally sets the tone for the show as well.
Basically,
Shout out to Care Package because I seen you perform at the KP show.
Yes,
And you really
shout out
did your
to Care
thing.
Package. Yes. No, Care Package is dope. I appreciated them letting me perform that ensemble. Like that's where I was like, oh, where's Kyle? Because I need. And then he was like, you gotta look for Kyle for that.
She tried to ask me a style too. I'm like,
You asking
asking the wrong
wrong-
person. I'm like, you asking the wrong person. Kyle be here in 30 minutes. You're gonna have to wait.
But I ended up just getting rid of the gloves.
And it was
as
a
I
good
told
move.
you.
It was a good move.
It was definitely a good
Yeah.
move. I don't know why I had the gloves. I don't know. But that outfit, I just really, I don't know. I start with like, I feel like the hair sometimes.
Yeah.
How do I want my hair to look? And then color schemes, and then also just like what pairs well with what. And then that's literally how I go with the whole outfit and just the whole ensemble for my performances. And that's where like I kind of showcase like, hey, look, I like to dress too.
Wow, you just gave 3 tips to the audience.
You
So
did.
hair first, colors, and then what you pairing it with.
And then you
That's
also
it.
said, budget. You could do it on budget. This is all on the
Right.
budget, baby.
It's all on a budget. Like this
I
is,
love a good budget.
I do too, because I feel like clothes and shoes, it's not a flex.
It's
like
not.
it's not. Like
It's personality.
it's personality, yes, and it's expression, but it is definitely not a flex because like to me, I feel like owning like land and just like having all different types of passive incomes and just like like money
Community.
trading, all that, like communicating, all that, just
Yeah.
to me, those are flexes because once you put yourself in the right rooms and you know certain people, it's like the sky is definitely the limit. Like you can go anywhere because it's like that's more important. So I
Right.
feel like if you out there and it's like you really just want to, flex style wise, but not really, like just look for affordable things that give you that look. Or sometimes what I do is I make certain items, like pieces.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what's up.
Literally, because I know I be wanting, like, sometimes I be wanting, acting like I'm at the Met Gala, and it's like, we not about to pay for Met Gala dress prices.
Right.
Like, we're not doing that. So it's like, what can I create, like, inspired by, like, certain celebs or what they wore, and just put that together, and then people are like, oh, where'd you get it from? And it's like, oh, I made this one.
That's
I actually
dope.
made this piece.
It came
So-
from my head. That's
And-
what it came
Literally.
from.
And do you share a lot of this stuff, like your own personal pieces on Instagram, on your platforms and stuff like that?
Not necessarily. Like, I'm getting better at, like, posting on
Yeah.
Instagram, because social media is kind of new for me. I haven't really had it, like, years prior. So now that I'm putting myself out there, it's something for me to try to, like, remember to, like, oh, like, I should take a picture of this, highlight what I made, if I made something in it or not. A lot of the pieces that I have on my IG, I've just kind of bought, like, fast fashion and worn.
Right.
But I'm trying to get better at that, because I would love to just, like, start telling people,
We
like,
would love to see that.
yeah, like, it's possible. You don't have to feel like, oh, I want to look nice, but I can't. It's like, you definitely can. Like, on the cheapest budget, like, trust me, it's possible.
I do have a question, right? So, would you consider yourself an introvert or extrovert?
I am an introvert who knows how to pretend to be an extrovert. So I don't know what you would call that, but
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to, like, my close people that I'm cool with, like, I'm just all over the place.
Yeah.
But 9 out of 10 times, like, I would rather be in the house. Like, I don't
Same.
want to like leave the house. So I don't know. And then when I am out in a setting, I feel very much extroverted. Like, I feel like almost like I kind of have to, because you just don't
Yeah.
want to be out. Like, then
Just
it's like,
sit in there,
yeah, it's like you didn't have to come then.
What you
Yeah.
come for?
Literally.
From the past conversations that we had, whether in social settings or just me and her, like sometimes, like I feel like you educate yourself a lot. Like you keep like a lot of people won't know what you know because you tend to keep that stuff to yourself. But I feel like that's so interesting because there's a lot of stuff that you know about. There's a lot of stuff that you do your own research about. And like, how do you find balance in educating yourself and then also keeping up with the trends and also, you know, staying in the moment? Because there's a lot of stuff when it comes to spirituality,
you're very
social
layered.
causes, changes going on. Like, you're like multi-layered, as Saint said.
Very in tune.
Well, I feel like even honestly, I feel like I struggle with that because whenever like I have a topic that is very interesting to me and which like I've shared with you, Leah, conspiracies, like I could live in conspiracy land all day, every day because I just feel like not that I just enjoy hearing people, you know, just say whatever. I also think certain things of my own. So sometimes hearing other people, whether it be like they're confirming it or just saying that, oh, they kind of believe the same thing, it makes me want to dive a little deeper and do my own research to see what more I could uncover just to, you know, speak to the validity of how I feel also. And as far as like keeping up with trends, to be honest, I be feeling like I don't do that as best as I could because trends they're changing so often. Constantly changing. And I feel like to try to keep up is almost doing yourself a disservice. So I just tend to just do me. And sometimes I find myself falling within the trend. So I'm like, okay, cool. So this was in season I wore. All right, I'm on target. Other times I'm just completely left field. I'm like, that's okay because this is something that speaks to me. I feel like just do a lot of whatever speaks to you and you'll find yourself aligning where you need to be always, in my opinion.
Also, I do want to verify. She didn't mean conspiracy. She mean controversy.
Yeah, because
I feel like conspiracy has a negative connotation. And I say controversy because conspiracy subconsciously says that, oh, it's fake and this is a facade. But we on the same type of timing because, you said, you do your research to find do that word.
Find your truth. Find your truth.
Find your truth.
Yo, that word trivial.
I was like, I'm not gonna touch that word.
You do what you do. Tell me about your latest performance. Do you have any upcoming performances coming?
Any projects too?
Yes, I do. So my latest performance was actually this past Friday.
Yes.
It was really, really calm and chill. Like, I enjoyed the setting. I enjoyed just the vibe of all the other performers, the DJ, you know. I appreciate everybody that had came out. So it was a really, like, comfortable, intimate setting that I enjoyed. And as far as upcoming projects, right now, I'm kind of, like, working on several different, actually. I'm doing, like, collab projects with other artists. And for myself, I'm working on, I wanted to, like, release my EP, which I still might sometime this year, just like later on. But now I'm feeling like I want to kind of just still put out more singles until like I fully hone in on the topic and just... And
the sound that you want to go into.
Exactly, because I want it to be really like a masterpiece. Like, and I feel like I don't know if I'm too new to be thinking that.
No,
you don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, I just feel like why not try to create the best body of work that I can.
Yeah, if you're going to put it out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what was the last song that you just released? Because I know you released a song less than 2 months ago, right?
Yes, we got to know what's new.
Yeah, it's called All Night.
All Night. And when you created that song, what were you thinking about? Just so when people listen to it, they know, okay, this is what's going on.
I was just thinking about an emotion that I'm sure a lot of people have felt before, like where you've done someone wrong that they didn't necessarily like deserve that. And not saying that, oh, some people deserve to be done wrong and others don't, but you just know when something doesn't feel right within you, like, damn, like this, like almost like if you scam one of your friends. And it's like, you know, they don't deserve that.
You're right.
But it's like, you know what you were doing, you're trying to benefit yourself. But then when you think about the person, it's like, damn. So it's that kind of emotion where it's like, I just wish I could, obviously I can't take back what was done, but just finding a way to make it right any way that I can. And even if I can't, just letting you know how I feel that whatever I did, it does still bother me. It's not something that I just, you know, like, all right, whatever it happened, is something I still think about.
I love that
keeps
song.
me up all night.
Nice.
I love that song because honestly, a lot of people are singing from like hatred. Oh yeah, I'm about to bust some windows out the car type songs. But that really made you think. It was a song that literally people think about like, damn, like should I did that? So
Very
bravo to
reflective.
you.
Yeah.
Where can we find all your music?
Yes.
On all streaming platforms. So whatever you listen to music on, I will be there. Just gotta type in my name and like each song because I'm not up there yet. And there's a couple Tikas too. So
And what's the full name on Apple Music is TIKA?
Yep.
All right then.
What's your Instagram, your Twitter, your YouTube? We gotta know all the things we can find you.
Okay, so you can find me on not all the social media platforms. Like I'm big on TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat, and I am at Tika Rashae, TIKARASHAE.
Nice.
Beautiful. Any last things that you want to say, and then say it to the camera? Por
Say it to the
favor.
camera. Your camera's right there.
So I guess I would just say for anybody that's tapping into whether it be music or just any type of love or passion that you have, just go in, give it your all. No one can tell you that you're not amazing because you should know that you are. And even if you you shouldn't seek for the validation of others. Just hone in on your craft and continue to produce everything, and you will get the recognition that you deserve.
Amen. I love that.
Beautiful.
But be sure to follow us on all platforms. Again, thank you, Tika, so much for having.
Thank you guys for having me.
Of course, and follow us on Instagram, Snapchat. Why is Snapchat? We don't got Snapchat. Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
You get me open. This time is our moment. Show me what's real. I'll show you more. Give you this pressure. Take it as an omen. Gonna make you feel like you can't go nowhere. Yeah. No, I mean what I say when I say that I need you. Ain't no teasing my words, cause you know that I'll come through. I can tell that you feel in the same way that I do. Just know I'm always need a vibe like you. You be the reason, yes you. I grind every season. I be tryna flex like you do, and always have you cheesing. Smile for me, show you all the finer things. Taking trips like every weekend. No, this ain't